Ever since I was a child, I've always had a family dog living in my home, and that's been my norm ever since. My family has always had at least one family dog living with us, and that's been a major part of my life and my identity. I've never lived without a dog, and I hopefully won't ever have to, but I think that my experience with animals has taught me a lot, and I think that having a dog has taught me a lot about patience and gratitude and just consciousness. And the reason why I say that is because when I was a junior in high school, I was inducted into the National Honor Society, which required you to do a certain number of community service volunteer hours. Because of that, I found a shelter that was looking for volunteers to clean kennels on Sundays in the morning. And as dirty and gross and smelly that it was, I was super excited to have any sort of part in the adoption and care of these dogs. And I continued doing that after my junior year with NHS through my senior year into the summer before college. Because of going away to college, I was no longer able to continue volunteering there and had to stop. I was sad not being able to volunteer, especially because that little dose of dog was really helpful to me, especially moving away from my family dogs and my parents. And having that noise change, because dogs make pretty much a constant noise in your home, so it was very different to go from having the sound of dog claws on the ground to no sound at all. But my junior year, I was surfing the internet, and based on my first speech, we ended up adopting the dog that I was talking about in that speech, Sadie, through the sneaky application process that I went through without fully making them aware of. So we currently do have a dog in our house named Sadie, and she's about 3 years old, and I am so thankful that my parents were receptive to the adoption that they weren't aware I was putting through. But because of that, I met the rescue center that we got her from, the owner. It was a very small business that she ran on her own personal property, but she was looking for volunteers. And because I was so grateful of the dog that we received from her and the love that that dog gave us and the gratefulness that we had from giving her a better life than she had before, I decided to volunteer with her. And I spent the summer before my junior year all the way through until the summer before this year, as well as over Thanksgiving and winter break, volunteering with her and helping her in whatever way she needed. I most typically spent my time working in the kennels and socializing puppies, which was quite easily the best responsibility I have ever had in my entire life. And I also did a lot of cleaning. I cleaned a lot of, feces and, waste that these dogs were creating, but that may have been really gross, but because of all of the different things that I was getting out of the experience, I didn't mind at all. I created a lot of bonds with a lot of the dogs, the older dogs that were there for a while because they don't adopt out as easily, and all of the puppies that were coming in and out with so much enthusiasm and so much love to give. It was just so rewarding to see these dogs go from homeless and abandoned in the South, driven up to New Hampshire, and then cared for and adopted out to families that were just over the moon excited to have them as an addition to their family units already. And because of that, I was able to make really great connections with all different types of people, and all of the volunteers that were there became some of my close friends during the process, and we would work shifts together, and it was just such an amazing experience. But sadly, because of this pandemic, they've been forced to shut down until everything reopens and non-essential businesses are allowed to reopen as well. In this downtime and the lull where we're all at home practicing social distancing. And because we are no longer allowed to go back on campus to finish our semester, I originally had a plan where I would graduate and get a dog of my own and move into an apartment with that dog and start my life with that dog. But because of the pandemic, I was able to accelerate that process a little bit, and I ended up adopting my own dog last week, and it's been such a grateful and just gratifying process, and I am so thankful for all of the people that are at the forefront of adopting in general, rescuing these pets. It's so incredible to see how much they change and what they come from and where they go, and I just wanted to show you guys. This is Tucker. He is my 7-month-old Border Collie Shepherd mix, and I'm over the moon excited to add him to our house, and I'm just, without any of these experiences, I wouldn't have ended up being able to adopt my own dog, and I'm just so thankful for that.